So here we are in beautiful West Bragg Creek day use area. This, similar to a lot of areas on public lands, is a multi-use landscape. So the scene that you see here is Beaver Dam. So in this area there's multi-users, so there's non-motorized recreation, there's oil and gas, there's forestry, there's agriculture, so there's grazing leases here, and the primary activity on the landscape today is recreation, non-motorized recreation. And so that brings me into this story about this place. So there's a main trail called Mountain Road, which runs along this wetland landscape. And it's a very popular trail in winter. And in the summer, most people stay on Mountain Road. But in the winter, with multi-users, there's equestrians, there's cross-country skiers, both skate and classic. There's lots of hikers, fat bikers. And so there's a lot of people coming from the parking lot and then expanding out onto the spokes of the trail system. And this is one of the main arteries. So what was happening is there's a small trail alongside of Mountain Road that started to get flooded. The water levels started to rise, and the trails group from the area, the local stewards, and the industry proponent that holds the license for the road, they were both concerned about the flooding of the road. So we knew we had to do something. And so previous actions are to remove the beavers, which was the cause of the flooding almost on the road, to remove their dams or the beavers or both. And at the same time, we had a watershed stewardship collective that was Cows and Fish, Elbow River Watershed Partnership, Bragg Creek Trails, the Government of Alberta, the local grazers, as well as some oil and gas industry. And we were working on some other project. We were walking back to the parking lot and we thought, oh, what can we do about this? There's got to be other ways. There's beaver coexistence projects that exist, but they have never happened in this area. So what can we do? So we got together and did some fundraising, put our minds together, and the first step was to raise the road so that it wasn't going to be imminently flooded, because a lot of beaver coexistence projects, especially on creeks, require lengthy permitting process. And so we needed to figure out something to do immediately, and that was raising the road. And then the next step was determining what kind of beaver coexistence we could incorporate. So we talked to Cows and Fish and Mistaki Institute. They both have a website called Working with Beavers, and it has a lot of examples of different coexistence projects. So we discussed it and decided a pond leveler was probably the best way to move forward. So fast forward over a year, maybe a year and a half, and we got the permit in hand. This was last August of 2023. We gathered a group of people to do a workshop. People came from as far as the Kainai Nation and as far north as Edmonton, I think. All came here to do this workshop. So we installed a pond leveler, which is basically a really long tube. It's like a pipe. We installed it into the dam to set the water levels so that they would not flood the road and the beavers could still exist and live in a healthy way, so they could still have enough depth in water to access their food, for example.